Hello everyone, Thursday, June 14th, 2018. Of course, yesterday was New Comic Book Day, and right now, today is New Comic Book Video Time. So, a lot of books I picked up this past week, and then I have a couple of older books I picked up, and so we're going to jump right into it, and then I have a comment at the end as it relates to some news that came out about San Diego Comic-Con this year. So, let's jump into the book, shall we? Book number 1 from Marvel, $4.99 price point again. I'm getting kind of tired of these, but it's a Deadpool Assassin number 1. So I'm going to grab that. Scooby Apocalypse 26. I've talked about Scooby Apocalypse for a long time, since day 1. And this is the first issue, of course, after issue 25, which was the death of Fred. So I'm anxious to read this one. I have not had a chance to read any of these yet, but a really nice cover right there. And then DC's been doing this with a lot of titles, and I like it. This is also Scooby Apocalypse 26. But I like the full cover, with just the smaller print on the bottom with the issue number and then the barcodes on the side. I'm enjoying these. I think that's a good look. I enjoy it. And, of course, this one had a $3.99 price point. So I have some information about that later on in this video. Flash number 48. Another one of those right there. This had a $2.99 price point. But, again, just a really good-looking book right there. And keeping with the theme, Detective 982, $2.99 price point. Really cool cover right there with Batman. Of course, you don't have to talk about Batman, Joker. I got him in the background. Really, really cool. And again, this is another $2.99 price point on that. So, good price and a really nice looking book. This was The Hunt for Wolverine number 2. And I enjoyed this cover. It looks like Greg Land cover, but I did not like the way the Wolverine looked. But the concept of the cover is really, really cool. I'd like to hear what you guys thought about it, if you bought it, or what your thought process was on the way it looked. And this is right here. I like the concept of him stabbing through Iron Man's mask, but I was not wild about the face and the way he made Wolverine look. But cool, cool cover nevertheless. I just thought Wolverine can be a little bit better. Cover of the week, as far as I was concerned. I saw this cover. It's like, right away I'm going to grab it. Again, this is from DC. $2.99 price point. This is The Immortal Men. Awesome looking cover right there. Awesome looking cover. Spider-Man Deadpool 34. Oblivion Song number 4. I'm enjoying this storyline right here. I'm anxious to see where they're going to take this. And this next book was a book that everybody was grabbing at the shop because it's already been sold to Netflix. And this is The Magic Order. Even on the back of the book, it even had a big advertisement, Netflix. So, the problem I have with this is, even though it's an independent, I'll show the book right there. There it is, Magic Song. This carried a $3.99 price point. The problem I have with this is, this didn't go under the radar. Everybody knew this was going to be a Netflix, and most of the shops in this area ordered this book super, super heavy. There were 3 or 4 different covers, and the covers were just, there's just tons of covers. So this book isn't going to be one of those that catches anybody by surprise because all the shops grabbed it. They got a big Netflix ad on the back cover. So, sorry, you're not going to get, that isn't going to go under the radar and you're not going to make a ton of money on that. But I'm anxious to read it and we'll go from there. A couple of True Believers that I picked up. Ant-Man and the Wasp. And again, we've talked about this before on these True Believers. For $1, you can't go wrong for the book. So, really, really nice. It's just a, reprint of the original story. And for $1, I'll buy those all the time. Some of those books are going pretty good, $8 to $10 right now. Like, Amazing Fantasy 15 and some of the other ones. The X-Men number 1 that they did sell really, really good still. So, this one here, this is Till Death Do Us Part. Another one of those really nice DC covers, $3.99 cover. This was the Suicide Squad, number 43. Really cool cover right there. I did grab a couple of these covers because I just thought the cover was really, really nice on that. So, Thor number 1, God of the Thunder Reborn. I was not wild about the price, $6, but it's a #1. I'm a Thor fan, so I would read it. But $6 on this Marvel, come on. It's starting to get a little old with the prices that you're charging for these books. I think a lot of the comments I've gotten from the viewers kind of agreeing with me that, you know, the prices are starting to get a little out of hand on some of these. This was Venom #2. There was a new character in this book. Not a great cover, but there is a, oh, excuse me, Venom #2, yes, not a great cover, but it's a new character, and I grabbed a couple just because, you know, you never know. I'm going to put some of these away for the shop when I reopen. This is Hawkman #1, and again, really cool cover right there. Hawkman flexing a little muscle, getting ready to do some damage. And again, I just enjoy these covers. I see them and I buy them because I think they look really, really good. A lot of people like to, you know, put their covers up as like decoration. These are perfect for that right there because it's like a piece of artwork and it's just really, really nice. $3.99 price point on that one. And a book that I really enjoyed, the first one from Aftershock Studios. This, of course, is Garth Ennis, and this is A Walk Through Hell #2. A really, really nice cover on that. The guy right there looks like he's going to do something to himself. The problem I have with this, at my regular shop, most of the spines were damaged, and I had to go out and try to find it at another shop because I wanted to keep the storyline going. But like I have stated to you in videos, if there's damage on the book, I'm not going to buy it because I'm just not going to do that. But I was able to find a copy, and I was very happy with that. A couple of the older books, that's what I picked up as the new books. And we'll get into something in a second. I'll show you a couple of older books I picked up. First one I picked up, and this is strictly cover only on this book. I love this cover from the moment I saw it when I was a kid, and I was like, you know what? I saw it today, and I had an opportunity to grab it, so I did. This is Creepy #125. Santa Claus terrorizing that little boy in bed with the axe. Just a really, really wicked cover. This was from 1981, and I got this for like $3. I'm going to buy that. Again, I bought this strictly for the cover. It has a little bit of issues with the book, but it's just a cool looking book, and I was going to buy that. Christmas, Santa Claus, and Axe, Terrified Child. That's a triple crown right there. The next one I picked up is a Neil Adams cover. Got this for a really good price as well. This is World Finest 204. This is a 25-cent giant, or, you know, bigger and better 25-center. Superman and Wonder Woman. Really, really nice cover there. And again, Neil Adams, you cannot go wrong with that. Those are the two older books I'm going to show. We've been discussing the price points on books, especially Marvel going, you know, Amazing Spider-Man was $9.99. They had, you know, DC went, you know, $7.99 with Action, and the price points are starting to get really, really high, but I had always made comments that DC had done a good job of keeping their books in the $2.99, $3.99 range. But of course, the announcement comes that DC, I believe, starting in August or September, a majority of their books are going to be in the $3.99, $4.99 range. They're raising their prices. And the reason they're raising their prices is because Marvel refuses to lower their prices. DC sees Marvel at $3.99 on the minimum, $3.99. I don't think Marvel even has a $2.99 book. They do the True Believer books at $1, but those don't really count. And so I'm sure DC was like, why are we going at $2.99? We can raise it to $3.99, $4.99, and people are still going to buy it. And it just isn't right. Again, with the way people's budgets are sometimes, not everybody can afford to go in there and spend $50, $60, $70 a week on books. And I understand that. You know, I'm fortunate to have a job where it allows me finances to buy the things that I want to buy. And if I need to spend X amount of money, I'm in the position to do that. But not everybody is, and I'm not always going to be in that position one day maybe. So, you know, if the comic companies even watch these videos or even care what people think, lower the price a little bit, huh? Help us out. You know, $2.99, $3.99. You know, if you have a special book, an 800-page, you know, the 80 pages, or the Big Amazing Spider-Man, you know, then charge your $5.99, $6.99. The book shouldn't be more than that. And so, you know, we still buy them because we love comics, but I'll be honest with you, I'm going to start being real picky about what I buy because I am tired of spending big money. I would just rather reinvest that money into stuff like this. older books that are harder to find because I'm always going to be able to find the new books. But I buy the books to show the videos because I appreciate the support that I get, and I know the viewers enjoy it. And I enjoy reading the books, so we'll go from there. So if you hadn't heard anything, as you know, Comic-Con in San Diego comes out in the end of July. Of course, we have the Las Vegas Con, Amazing Con, which is coming here in 2 weeks, and I'm excited about that. I'm going to be picking up some older books, hopefully, that I can find there, and I'll, of course, do a video regarding that. But the announcement was made by Marvel that they will not be going to Comic-Con this year. Marvel has always had Hall H, which is, if you've ever been to Comic-Con, Hall H is the big conference room where they show a lot of the upcoming movies or the teaser trailers for the superhero movies and the big movies that are coming out, you know, the next year. You know, so it'll be the ones for 2019. And it's always been a big event, either whether it was, you know, Batman versus Superman or the Suicide Squad or whatever it is. Not so much Suicide Squad, but, you know, when Marvel releases something big, they've always used Hall H, or DC has used Hall H to show that stuff. So Marvel has made the decision that they're not going to do it this year. No one knows why. Marvel didn't announce it. But I had a conversation with somebody about a year ago. Being originally from San Diego, I remember going to my first con at the Town and Country Hotel in 1976 and in Mission Valley. And it was there up until the 80s, until they moved to bigger venues. And I had always made the comment that Marvel would rather have the Comic-Con in Los Angeles or Anaheim, which is closer to their home base in LA, than have it in San Diego. And I think this is the first step of Marvel kind of laying down the gauntlet to try to force other companies. Game of Thrones is also not going to Comic-Con this year. I know HBO isn't pulling in a lot of shows as well. So some of the companies are now not going to the San Diego Comic-Con, and that's going to hurt them because they're trying to force a move to Anaheim. And I don't agree with that. I think the Comic-Con should remain in San Diego, not because I'm from there, because that's where it originated. It was from San Diego in the 70s, and it's been there ever since. And I think a move to Anaheim is a mistake, but money always dictates what happens in this industry. And unfortunately, that is the world we live in. So shame on you, Marvel, for not going to the Comic-Con, not showing the support to the Comic-Con. I think it's a bad choice on your part. I would like to hear what people have to say about that, but I'm going to kind of leave it at that. I'm keeping the video kind of basic today because there's a lot of stuff going on, but I want to hear what you have to say about the Comic-Con move. If you like the books, I do appreciate all the support I'm receiving and all the questions, and so I hope you liked the video, but as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week.